You're not lazy, friend. I have 5 causes and cures for procrastination. Not just the causes, but the cures to help you conquer procrastination forever. Hi, I am Sabine Franco. This is Ambitious Legacy, and I really want to break this down because I have had a long process, a long process of conquering procrastination as a business owner, as a lawyer, entrepreneur, as a manager, an executive, a decision maker. I've done all the procrastination on every level. So I am really equipped to have evaluated and come up with these particular things that have really recently, within the past year, given me a real solid conquer of procrastination. I've been doing the things and I wanted to come here and sort of help you with the same. So let's get into these 5 tips. Make sure you stay to the end so you can really get a good grasp because all the things are important. So let's get into it. The number 1 cause of your procrastination is you do not like what you are doing. That is right. You do not like what you're doing. You don't have a positive outlook or positive emotion towards it. In fact, you probably hate it. So this is why you are procrastinating. It could be your job. It could be a task. It could be a project. You're not completely happy. But guess what? You are in control. You just have to flip the script about your not being happy with that particular thing or excited about it. There was a study that Stanford University of Medicine had done on elementary school math students, that they did better on their exams when they had a positive attitude towards the subject in particular. Now, this had an effect on their hippocampus. This is the memory center of the brain, and helped them to remember more, and therefore they performed better. And so we could use the same study, the same scientific evidence to show that if we are more positive towards what we're doing, then we're going to perform better. So I used to be a person that would complain about, it wasn't like I was complaining to everybody that I knew, but I would complain every day to myself, like, oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, I don't like this. Oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. Why did I even go to law school? I should have done this career or that career. What if I would have done, like, all the things that you're probably going through, I did it. And I spent so much time focusing on what I didn't want that I wasn't giving any attention to what I did want. And furthermore, I had a negative outlook on things. And then, long story short, I had a health scare, got healed from that. And I was just like, you know what? Life is short. I am not going to sit here and worry about things anymore. I'm just going to deal with the cards that I got. I get what I get and I don't get upset. And so when I started to do that, what actually happened is that I changed my outlook on it. And because I had a positive outlook, that made the things start to be much easier, start to be much more enjoyable. So it's either you change the thing, like if it's a job or something that you have an option to do it or not do it, just get rid of it, right? If you have the option, don't do the thing, period. But if you can't change the thing, then you need to change your outlook about it. So when you change your emotions about a thing and you have a more positive outlook towards it, you increase endorphins, and endorphins increase creativity, and that allows things to be much easier for you, right? Because we're dealing with procrastination, one thing you can do is to broaden the window of time that you actually can get the thing done. That way you may not be so constrained to time and having to get it done and having these time limits. So one thing that I do, like with my daughter, for example, she has a project to do. They always have projects to do. She's in middle school, so you know how it goes. And so her projects become my projects. So I have to work with her to make sure that they're getting done. And what I say is, listen, as soon as you know that the project is due, let's break down what we have to get done. Recently, she had to do 22 chapters of a book. Each chapter took like 30 minutes to read. And then she had to answer a series of questions. She didn't tell me that she had to do it. Weeks go by, and then all of a sudden I found out, and I'm like, this is due soon. Like, even though it's months away, you have 22 chapters. So what we did was we broke it down, because at that point she had to do 4 chapters a week to get it done. And we did 4 chapters a week. It took her 30 minutes. So you pick 4, different slots of 30 minutes to do this thing, get it done, boom. So because we broke it down, now she could do it, get it out the way, check it off her list. Even though it was painful, even though she didn't really care to do it, and I didn't want to have to supervise it either, but breaking it down, increasing the window, taking small chunks of it, giving us time to do it, we're able to check it off very easily and then had a more positive outlook towards it. Now she's done way before her deadline and enjoyed it along the way because it was actually a good book, a good story. So when you break it down into smaller chunks, or you broaden the window where you can operate in the thing and you don't have to do it all, at one time, then you can have a better positive outlook and emotion towards it, and you will have better results in your performance. The number 2 cause of your procrastination is that you are taking things way too seriously. Now, I am the queen of taking things too seriously. I have always been mature. I've always been, a worrywart. I have always been, there is something that my brother-in-law always says, worst case scenario Sabine, right? Because I'm always like, but what if this happens, right? Always taking things too seriously. And I have found that takes a lot of the joy of it, out of the process, because you're always worried, you're always tense, you're always like thinking of the worst thing. And you also know that and that goes back to mindset and perspective, but having a bad mindset towards something, you tend to bring those things into your life. If you're focusing on the bad, you're going to bring more of that. So we need to chill, take it easy. Life is practice. Life is supposed to be fun. We're on a journey, right? All those things. So we really need to be a little bit more whimsical in our process, in our approach towards things. There's some research done in this book called The Habit of Fun, or The Fun Habit, How the Pursuit of Joy and Wonder Can Change Your Life by Mike Rucker. And the book talks about having mindful enjoyment of what you are doing. So if you're focusing on how can I make this more fun? What is the thing that I could do to turn this around and have more fun while doing it? So the book talks about increasing joyful moments can lead to better relationships, to better health, and to better productivity, which is a cure for our procrastination, right? Increasing joyful moments. So it's not extra, it's actually self-care, and it actually helps you to do better in the tasks and the things that you're doing. It helps you to get right to it because you're in a good mood and you're able to really find the enjoyment in the things that you're doing. So back to my daughter, another thing that she does when I'm working with her on studying is she will sing the answers. So I'll ask her, I'll go through, studying with her on her tests or for her exams, and she'll sing the answers, she'll dance the answers, she'll do like something cute and fun and quirky to try to make me laugh. And I get annoyed. However, it's good because it's helping her to understand. And I know when she's sitting down and taking the exams, she's going to remember that moment that we had, in the process of her studying. So she finds the joy, in the process. And I used to want to sort of quench that a little bit and say, you need to be serious, you need to sit down and you need to take this seriously. Well, true, on an exam she has to sit down and take it serious, but there's no reason why she cannot find the fun in preparing, right? We can find the fun. We don't have to make it square and gray and black and white just for it to be effective. And good old Mary Poppins told us a long time ago to find the fun. A spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down, right? Find the fun and make things a little bit easier. So that leads me to the next cure for taking things too seriously, is that we need to find play. We need to introduce play into what we're doing. Try to diminish the pressure. Treat it like curiosity. Treat it like an experiment, which is in fact what we're doing in everyday lives. We're experimenting. Nobody has all the answers. So treat it like an experiment. Be curious with the things that you're doing. How can I make this more fun? What can I introduce into? Maybe I can do it in a different area of my office. Maybe I could do it outside. Maybe I could do it at the beach or whatever. Try to adjust the variables so that you're able to find a fun groove with it. And if you could tell yourself that you're treating it as a hobby so that your livelihood is not tied to it, that's great. But maybe your livelihood is tied to it. Maybe just tell yourself that it's not. So you can treat it like a hobby and have more fun with it. The number 4 cause of your procrastination is that you might be doing it alone without accountability. So the cure for this is to find your accountability crew. So recently I got together with a couple of friends. We got on text and we have a weekly 30-minute Zoom so that we can help keep each other accountable, because we're all working towards specific goals that we have in mind. And it's just, and we're independent. We don't have a team working with us. And so it's good to have some sort of accountability, somebody who can, who can help you celebrate these little small wins, who can help point out for you these little small wins. Associating with positive people also makes you more positive, which is going to cure the procrastination of the things that you're doing. So find your crew that you can get with. And what is done for us is that we found that we're checking off things on our list that we would normally procrastinate, right? We would just keep pushing it to the next week. But we're checking things off our list. We're putting it in the chat saying, hey, this is what I've done. We're celebrating each other. And it's made us excited. So it's like we have this little competition going on of who can check everything off of their list, right? And it's not really a competition, but it feels like a fun way to say, well, I want to be able to say that I've done it and get celebrated as well. So that's one, find your accountability crew. Another cure is to find people who you can co-work with. Like maybe you could just get on Zoom with other people who are also working in the same way that you're working, or working on similar projects or whatever it is you're trying to accomplish, and work together side by side on Zoom. You could be silent. Just having somebody else in the room sometimes, or having somebody else in the virtual room sometimes, helps you to just want to get it done. You have this finite time, makes you sit and focus and stay glued. So find your support, essentially. Positive people, positive vibes, similar goals, great minds think alike, and you'll move towards moving past that procrastination. So before I get to number 5, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with someone you think needs to hear it. But most importantly, leave a comment and let me know, have you tried any of these? Have any of these worked for you? Or have you experienced anything that I'm talking about here at all? Anyways, let's get to number 5. So number 5, the fifth reason that you are procrastinating is because you are not being challenged. Right? That is a reason why you're procrastinating. So now, not everything in our life is going to challenge us, right? We can't necessarily have every single thing be challenging, and we're going to have to do some things that are not challenging, and it's going to be boring and mindless, but we have to do it anyway, right? So when you're faced with those type of things, what you can do is take something that is challenging, maybe like a hobby or what have you, and use that as a treat for when you're done the thing that you really can't stand, or that's not challenging you, right? Use it as a treat. And you can combine this with some of the other cures to help you kind of get through this thing that's not challenging you. And sometimes people can be painted as lazy when they don't want to do something, and it turns out that they're really just not being challenged. And I find that typically those people, you can find things that do have them on their game and have them doing their thing. Like, back to my daughter again, for example, she's not somebody who loves academics. She does good at academics if she focuses on it, but she doesn't love it. But you give her a dance to choreograph and she's like on it. She's like planning. She's like got all her stuff together. Nobody has to tell her anything. Or you put her in a play. She like is studying her parts and singing and doing all this other stuff. She has things that she's passionate about, just like all of us. So if you take the things that you're passionate about, use it as a treat or bookend it on the thing that just doesn't challenge you, then you can say, okay, I can work for 30 minutes towards this thing that's not challenging and not fun, and I really want to procrastinate forever and ever, because when I get to the end, I have this treat that I can do. Or you can have a physical treat, like, whatever it is that you use as a treat, you can have that after you finish the thing. Recently, I had done a fast for 21 days and I cut out coffee, and it was good, and I was, productive and all that great stuff. But then when I came back to it and I said, you know what? I like coffee so much. I just love it. It's like a blankie in the morning, and it's like comforting, that I'm not going to have it first thing when I wake up. I'm going to wait till I get my morning routine done. And right before I start work, that's when I'm going to have my coffee. So it's going to be a treat for me, sticking to my morning routine, for not procrastinating all those things on my morning list and getting them done. Then I can get to have my treat as a coffee, my coffee treat. So I pray that this was productive for you. I pray that it was good. It's going to help you conquer procrastination. No more procrastinating. You are healed. You are cured. You are delivered. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for helping me to be on purpose. And I can't wait to see you next time.